Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and we are back at it, you guys, for another episode of On the Move with Coach. On the Move with Coach. Excited to be with you guys as I get my steps in. If you are checking out the Before You Go Pro channel for the very first time, we welcome you. We appreciate you checking us out, spending your time with us as I get my workout in, as I get my steps in. So once again, Coach Wood. And on this channel, you guys, on this channel, we talk football. We talk football Monday through Friday. That's 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you are a player, a coach, a parent of a player, this is the channel for you guys to voice your opinions, for you guys to ask your questions, for you guys to help us build this community. So thank you for joining me today. And we've got a couple of key topics, you guys, a couple of key topics to talk about with you today as I get this exercise in, as I keep my heart rate up, as I keep my belly low. So thank you for joining us. And the first topic, you guys, that I wanted to talk to you about today was I saw that Tua Tagovlioa is coming back to practice. He's coming back to practice for the Miami Dolphins. You guys know he's the quarterback, played at Alabama, and has had tremendous adversity, you guys, centered around concussions. I don't know how many concussions he's had, but it seems like every time that Tua gets a concussion, his always look worse than everybody else's. Back in my day, they used to say, you got your bell rung. And, as long as you didn't pass out, they probably let you back on the field. It's not like that today. Today, they've got protocols, they've got special doctors, especially with someone like him that's had a history of very bad concussions. And then he's a high-priced quarterback. He's a multi-million-dollar quarterback. So some of the best brain surgeons have worked with the Dolphins for Tua. Some of the best doctors. He's probably getting CAT scans and MRIs and the whole thing. So he's been cleared, it looks like, and he's going to come back to practice. But the question that I wanted to ask you is, if you were McDaniel, the head coach, or maybe there's a lady, a mom, or a female watching this on the move with Coach, if you were his wife or you were Tua's sister, his mother, would you want him to come back and play again? Would you want it to be up to him? Would you be down for whatever he wants to do? Or would you be the one that says enough is enough? Enough is enough. I know in the military, they've got honorable discharges. Well, Tua has made his money. He has played at the highest of levels and competed and done good at a high level. He is definitely worthy of an honorable discharge from football, okay? But some guys are lifers, man. Some guys are lifers and they love the game too much. It might be the thing they love the most in their life, maybe outside of their immediate family, and they don't want to quit. They feel like they can still perform at a high level. They feel like they've passed the protocols. They feel like they're back to normal. Life starts to get back to normal, and they want to play. They want to play. They want to make money for their family. They want to be the best they can possibly be. And who can fault somebody for that? Who can fault somebody for that, So what would you do? What would you do if you were someone that was very close to Tua? Would you say, hey, man, you're ready to go? Go have at it. Go live your dreams. Go do what you love. Or would you be someone that says, hey, man, enough is enough? Enough is enough. So very interested to hear your opinion on that and what you guys think, because, you never think football is really life or death, but it's possible. It's possible, and it could definitely, and hopefully Tua doesn't have to go down this dark road after his football days, but it can definitely add to diminishing quality of life. If he cannot function well, if the caretakers around him when he's older are having a hard time, that's something to think about if you're Tua. It's not always just about us. It's not always just about us as football players. Your health, your well-being can affect others too. So very interesting. Obviously, he is a high-level professional athlete, and if healthy, he's going to be in the top half of NFL quarterbacks, most likely. So we're not talking about somebody that's a scrub. We're not talking about somebody that doesn't have any game. We're talking about somebody that is legit, and wants to play. So he's back at practice. All of this will play out, you guys. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But, before you go pro audience, on the move with Coach, I want to hear from you. What do you think Tua should do? Do you think he should keep on playing till the wheels fall off? Or do you think he needs to be a little bit more mindful of his quality of life after football? It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to give up. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars that he's under contract for. I don't know how that works if he doesn't finish the contract, but it's definitely something to think about. So thank you guys for joining me as I'm getting these steps in on the move with Coach, baby. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Having a joy building this community with you guys. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is big. As you guys know, we serve student athletes, football players, high school, junior college football players across the country. And a lot of these kids are trying to eat. They're trying to get to the bag. They're trying to get to the scholarship as we speak. Some of them have what they want, but others don't. So for the ones that don't, and the ones that not only don't have what they want, but maybe they're playing on a terrible team. Maybe you're playing on a terrible high school football team. Maybe you're playing on a terrible junior college football team, prep school football team. I want to bring this up to you because this happened, a conversation I was having with one of our parents last night. Now, her son is playing major Division I football. Her son's playing major Division I football. I'm not going to say his name or the school, but there's a possibility that he may want to jump in the transfer portal, okay? Possibility he may want to jump in the transfer portal. Now, he is currently, you guys, and he deserves a lot more playing time than he's getting, but he's currently, you guys, on a terrible team. He's on a terrible football team, but once again, this is a Division I college football team, all right? And the mom is asking before you go pro for advice with their son's situation. Now, the team, they only got one win, all right? They only got one win this season, and you guys know we're getting deeper into the college season, so they're not going to a bowl game. This is a bad team, all right? So, here's my advice. Here's my advice if you want to better your personal situation, but you're on a terrible team. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Let's say, and you may say, Coach, how in the heck is that a good thing? I'm on a terrible team and I'm not getting any playing time, or I'm not getting as much playing time as I deserve. How is that a good thing? Hear me on this. If you're on a terrible team, things probably aren't going to get much better, unfortunately. You can kind of tell within the first quarter, definitely by the halftime of the season, which teams are terrible and which teams got a shot, all right? So if you're a college football team, if you're a high school football team, junior college football team, and it's this late in the season, you guys, we still got a good amount to go, but it's by now if this year is going to be a struggle, okay? So, got that out the way. This year is kind of a wash. It's a struggle for the team, but it's not for you. It's not for you individually. Here's why. This is what happens with every terrible team, you guys. People start complaining. Coaches start pushing guys to the back. people's effort goes in the tank, their belief in the team and the coaches goes in the tank. And a lot of guys' personal production tends to go down too. Like I said, their effort, their work ethic, everything tends to go down when you're on a losing team. And then you start to get the locker room cancers, as my dad used to say, the locker room cancers, where you get people in the locker room that are trying to tear down people and trying to tear down the coaching staff and the team. Now, you may very well have a terrible coaching staff. You may very well have not much talent on your team, but you have to understand, if you're a football player, you're an individual contractor. So you have to watch out for yourself individually too. Especially if you're on defense, I'm talking to you. And the young man that the parent I was talking to, this young man's on defense. I think you can control more on defense than you can on offense, especially on a terrible team. So here was my advice. Everybody that stays upbeat, everybody that continues to work their tail off or works harder, shows up earlier, stays later, yes or no sir to the coaches, everybody that shows big time effort on the film, all of those people stand out even more, you guys, on a terrible team. If I'm watching as a recruiter or maybe an NFL prospect and I'm a scout, and I know this team is terrible, but I see this young man giving an exceptional effort on this terrible team, then that speaks volumes to me as a coach or a scout or a recruiter. You know, if I'm a coach on a terrible team, we watch the film after every game, after every butt whooping, we're going to watch the film. And if I see a young man that isn't getting much playing time, but when he does, he's going all out. Maybe it's just special teams, but he's the first one down on kickoff. He's pancaking people on punt. He's throwing great blocks on punt return. He's giving everything he's got. Then guess what? I'm going to find a way. This season's a wash anyway. The season's a wash anyway, and when a season's a wash, many coaches go to the young guys and they go to the backups who deserve more playing time. So my advice to this mom, and I'm going to relay it to her son, is, hey, you guys only got one win this season, which means that the season is a wash and it's probably going to get worse. If you're the one pumping people up in the locker room, if he's the one getting to practice early and staying late, if he's the one asking great questions, if he's the one popping off on film, practice and games with effort, then guess what? He's going to be the one that everybody pays attention to as the season comes to an end. He's going to get more playing time. He's going to get more opportunities. He's going to heighten his value. So whether he stays or leaves, you know, if the coach stays or leaves, if the coach gets fired, that young man has heightened his individual value and perception from everybody around watching as someone that deserves more. So, hey, a losing team can be a blessing for someone that is not getting their just due. A losing team can be a blessing for somebody that is better than what they're receiving. And if you're on a losing team, my high school team, you guys, was 2-8 my junior year. We were 4-6 my senior year. But I had better scholarship offers than most of the teams that we were playing against, the guys that we were playing against that were whooping our butt. But whoever was watching us knew that, hey, Coach Wood, Terrence Wood, is different than some of these other guys. They're not losing because of him. So, you know, whenever you guys are on a losing team, somebody should be able to watch the game, watch the film, and say they're not losing because of him. Okay? So you guys keep that in mind, and I will definitely see you at the top. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Looking forward to talking more football with you guys. But let me know about what you think. What do you think about Tua's situation? Should he be done with football? Does the NFL need to try to step in somehow? Does his family need to speak up? So let me know what you think about Tua. Should he be able to play till the wheels fall off? It's his prerogative. It's his life. Or do you think that somebody needs to hold him back from himself? And then also keep in mind what I said. Hey, a losing team is somebody else's big opportunity for you as an individual. All right, so I'm Coach Wood. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you tomorrow on The Move with Coach.